Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to start impact of elastic bodies or impact of elastic collision. So what is the concept behind that? Suppose two balls will be there. Before collision, after collision and during the collision. Three things I will explain. So think about two balls will be there. Both balls will be having mass m1 and m2. This is the center C1 and C2. Before collision, this is the situation. During the collision, what will happen? It will get inside some impression. Two balls will be there, they will collide for a small interval of time, they will go in. Immersions will be take place both sides. So this is the inside, this first block went inside this block. So you will see the immersion of this. After collision, body will move opposite directions after collision. So before collision, during the collision, after collision. That basic concept we are going to study here. So what is the impact? This definition is there. Impact is the phenomena of collision. Collision means both will collide together. Two bodies which occurs very small period of time. Once they will collide, very small interval of times they will collide, during which two bodies exert a large force and it will go the both impressions will take place. That means one body will go inside. That meaning is that impressions takes place. That impression, see this, impressions takes place. After a small interval of time, again both body will go after collision. Both body will go opposite direction. So impact is a phenomenon collision of two bodies which occurs a very small period of times, which the two bodies exert a large force with each other and short interval of times. So during this some terms we have to study. So two bodies there, M1 and M2, whose center is C1 and C2. So what is the line of impact? Line of impact nothing but perpendicular line to the collision surface. Where is the collision surface? Suppose 2 points. These two if you collide together, this point is known as collision surface. Once they are colliding, this point is known as collision surface. So line of impact is nothing but it is the perpendicular to the colliding surface. What is colliding surface? This point. Then what is central impact? If both center C1 and C2 and velocity will coincide, it will collide together with the collision surface, is known as central impact. Is known as central impact. If we'll see if the velocity not passes through the center, if velocity not passes through the center, what is known as oblique impact. That means this velocity will act to the center, I shown here, some angle. That velocity will act, this theta 2, this is theta 2. If velocity will act in the center through the some angle, this is known as oblique impact. If we'll study what the eccentric impact. What is the eccentric impact? Very beautiful example is that cricket bat and ball. Ball having some center, bat having some center of gravity. If someone will throw the ball, batsman will hit this ball, its chance is there to hit both the center at a time. This is a really impossible task. Suppose ball will come, they will hit anywhere in the bat. It is not possible to hit this center C1 to C2. That is called eccentric effect. This is eccentric collision. So each mass center does not collide with the line of impact, is known as eccentric impact. So mass center C1, C2 will not collide together. So best example is the cricket bat ball. So these two center will never collide. Very rare. This is impossible things. So each mass of center C1 and C2 does not collide with the line of impact. What is the line of impact? This line of impact means it passes through the center. This is known as line of impact. These basic things will be there. Now will be there the elastic collision. Elastic collision or elastic impact. What is the elastic impact? If two bodies will collide together, after collision they will regain its original shape. Suppose rubber ball will be there, both collide together, some impressions will be there. Again it will regain its original positions. Once it will go after collision, they will get the original position. That is known as elastic impact. If If they will regain its original positions is known as elastic impact. Elastic impact. If two balls will collide together, it will not regain its original shape and size, that is known as inelastic collision or plastic impact. Example will be, suppose take the wheat and make the two ball. If will collide together, what will happen? They will never regain its original position. Or you take the soil, both mud soil, you make the two ball and collide together. What will happen? This one will collide. After collision, they will not get its original shape. That is called plastic impact or inelastic collision. So that are the concept will be there. Now we'll discuss about the law of conservation of momentum. So these things I am going to rub it. Now law of conservation of momentum. What is this law of conservation of momentum? So we'll see this laws of conservation of momentum. Laws of conservation of momentum. So what is this with that? Before collision, after collision. So what is the formula? M1 V1 plus M2 V2 is equal to M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash. What is M1? Mass of the one body. So suppose two body will be there. No, already there. Okay, gave that. Okay, we'll draw one more. M1 M2, two body, mass M1 M2. This is V1 V2. What is V1 dash and V2 dash? This velocity after collision. What is V1 V2? V1 and V2, velocity before collision. Before collision, V1 V2 before collision. M1 M2 is the mass of the two body. M1 M2 is the mass of the body. This is a very important formula to solve the question. This is very important formula to solve the question. Now what will be the other things? Coefficient of restitution. Coefficient of restitution. Coefficient of restitution. What is this one? This is the ratio of the relative velocity of separation. Relative velocity of separation to the relative velocity of before, relative velocity of approach. Relative velocity of approach. What is this? Relative velocity of approach, what is this? Relative velocity after separations. That means after impact what will happen? V2 dash minus V1. So relative velocity separation V1 dash divided by relative velocity at approach V1 minus V2. So symbols we are using E. E is nothing but coefficient of restitution. So this equation 1 and equations 2. Based on this we'll solve the two bodies suppose collide together, how to find the velocity after collision, or they will ask find the restitution or find the mass. Anything, any unknown they will ask, now we can calculate based on these two formula. Based on this formula we can find. So coefficient of restitution nothing but it is the ratio of relative velocity separation by relative velocity of approach. These two formula, one question I kept here. One question is that the problem I will solve now based on this concept. Okay, let us start now this work. So this is the two formula we'll use. M1 V1 plus M2 V2, M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash. M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Mass of the block 1, mass of the block 2, so correct. Now relative velocity of the approach V2 dash minus V1 dash, V1 minus V2. So okay, this coefficient of restitution. Now okay, I'll write here what is the given data there for that particular problem, or we'll start from the beginning. What is the given data first we'll collect. what is the given data and what is questions are telling. A ball of mass m. So m1 given 45 kg. 45 kg. Moving with a velocity 6 meter per second square. V1 is equal to 6 meter per second, not square. Velocity unit is meter per second. It strikes directly to the another ball. So two ball will be there. Two ball will be there. M1 45 kg. V1 is equal to 6 meter per second. This is C1. M2 and V2. What is given? Directly another ball 26 kg. Mass is 26 kg. Velocity is 14 meter per second. What is their ball? Moving in the opposite direction. That means velocity will be negative. So that means this first ball is moving positive directions. Now this moving opposite direction. So see this directions of the velocity opposite. That's why velocity will be negative. Once they are asking moving in the opposite direction, second velocity will be negative. Coefficient of restitution they given 4.5. They are asking find the velocity of each ball after impact. That means what is our unknown? After impact V1 dash and V2 dash. They are asking. We have to find out V1 dash, V2 dash. So what we'll do there? Only I told two formula is there. Laws of conservation of applying laws of conservation of momentum. Applying laws of conservation of momentum. So formula will be there. Before impact M2 V2 equal to after impact M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash. This is the formula. Now we'll substitute this value. M1 is equal to 45. V1 will be 6. Minus will come because V2 is negative. So M2 is 45 into 14 equal to M1. 45 into V1 dash plus 26 into V2 dash. So this we substituted. If we'll calculate this, how much is coming? That already calculations we kept ready. We'll see this is coming 270 minus 364. So okay, right. 270 minus 364 is equal to 45 V1 dash plus 26 V2 dash. This is got. This if will subtract, it is coming minus 94. So we can write here that implies 45 V1 dash plus 26 V2 dash equal to minus 94. Give the equations number 1. Give the equations number 1. Okay. Now we know the coefficient of restitution formula. What is V2 dash minus V1 dash? Because what is this one? Relative velocity of separations by relative velocity by approach. V1 minus V1. V1 minus V2. Relative velocity of approach by relative velocity by separations by approach. E they given 5 by 6. 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 is equal to V2 dash minus V1 dash divided by V1. How much? 6. V2 minus 14. So what will come? 14 plus 6, 20. 20 for the 80. 80 divided by 5, 16 I think so. 16. So we can write 16 is equal to V2 dash minus V1 dash. This is equation number 2. They given equation number 2. So this E given, coefficient of restitution is given 4.5. So this V1 minus V2, but V2 will be negative. So this cross multiplication 20, 80, 80 divided by 5, 16. Now from the equation 1 and 2. From equation 1 and 2. What is the equations 1 and 2? Right, first here V2 dash is there now. So make it here because both plus, so we can write 26 V2 dash plus 45 V1 dash equal to minus 94. Right, little bigger, minus 94. Second equation what is? V2 dash minus V1 dash equal to 16. How to solve this here? Because we have to make equal 1. So this multiply 1, this multiply 26. So second equations what will become? The second equations will become, I'll write here itself. So okay, write one more steps. 26 V2 dash plus 45 V1 dash equal to 94 into 194. Now this 26 V2 dash minus 26 V1 dash equal to 26 plus 16, how much coming? 416. 416. So what is the rule for this? Okay, this problem I think I will rub it. Now, what is the rule for solving this? Second bottom equations you see, plus, this is plus, so minus, this is minus, this is plus, this minus 94, no? This minus 94, it will be little confusing. So equal to minus 94, this is plus, 416 is plus, so make it minus here. So this will get cancelled here, 45 plus 26, 45 plus 26, this will coming 71 V1 dash equal to, it will be minus this also minus, so minus 416 minus 510, minus 510. So V1 dash is equal to minus 510 divided by 71, it is coming minus 7.183, 183 meter per second. So one velocity I know. Now substitute this V1. Substitute V1 dash in equation, which is small equation. So this one, equation 2. Substitute the equations 2. V1 dash, substitute V1 dash in equations 2. So what will get? 16 equal to V2 dash minus plus 7.183. So how much will come? V2 dash equal to 16 minus 7.13. It is coming, just will calculate. 16 minus, because this plus, so it will come this side minus 7.183. So it's coming 8.817. 8.817 meter per second. So now you look here. V1 dash we got negative. So again we write V1 dash. Again we write here. V1 dash is nothing but 7183 meter per second, but directions will be opposite. Directions will be opposite. This we got plus. So this will write plus, no? Plus is right side. This plus means this is the direction. So we got the, what they are asking? Find the velocity after impact, V1 dash, V2 dash. Okay, and diagram will be this only. So see here, we are getting this opposite direction. If you see the sign conventions, this plus, anything opposite it will go negative. Okay, this side. So this way we can calculate the, how you will check this? If you substitute here, M1, V1, M2, V2, now this value, it will come equal. This will be equal to this. Suppose the fraction value we are taking now, maybe this 94, no, first one is how much? 94. So this will come 93.9992. So that means equal only, because now we are taking decimal 3 digit only. If you take decimal 10 digit value now, almost 94 will come. So this is the checking process. M1, V1 plus M2, V2 will get the equal value. Okay. So okay students, you just practice this question. This is the concept. Another video another 2-3 problems I will solve further regarding the impact of collisions. Okay. Watch the video, subscribe the channel and give the feedback. Okay. Thank you students.